Oh, it's on.
What's up, y'all?
What's good, Melanites? It's your boy, GT.
This is Kymmy Cocoa.
And we are your hosts for Innovative Black Stations Connecting the Dots.
What's going on? How's everybody's week been?
You been sick.
Yes. The flu out here killing folks, bruh.
Killing everybody.
The flu out here catching bodies.
Dropping 1, 2, 3.
They said that the flu vaccine that they have out this year is only 30% effective.
I'm not taking that shit. Every time I take this shit, I get sick. No.
I don't take it. I had to take it once when I was in the hospital. They gave it to me like on some sneak shit. I didn't ask for it. They just came in there like, yo, you about to get this flu shot.
Kim and J Black was in my closet.
Oh yeah, we all have on the same colors
on today for whatever reason. I just think
because we're cool like that.
So we're gonna start y'all off. We're gonna talk about COINTELPRO. That's put you on game. Facts and opinions gonna be about T.I. and Killer Mike joining Keisha Bottoms' committee. My 2 cents is about a Milwaukee teacher giving an inappropriate assignment. Kim gonna talk about Trump with her Cocoa, and then we have some honorable mentions. But first, we're gonna go ahead and put you on game about COINTELPRO. So Kim, go ahead and kick us off with that.
Okay, so being that it's the week that we honor Martin Luther King, we want to talk about the COINTELPRO, the counterintelligence program that the government had going on. And if you ask me, Jeff Sessions, our favorite person, it seems like we've been discussing for the last few episodes. And excuse me, you know I've been sick, so I might have to stop and cough every once in a while. But it seems like he, for somehow, is very his actions and the actions of the current administration are very reminiscent of the things that I read and the things that happened with the COINTELPRO. So did you tell them what COINTELPRO
It's the first campaign targeted the U.S. Communist Party in the mid 1950s. They also did a lot of that in the 1960s as well. Of course, J. Edgar Hoover is behind it. Notable people. A notable person, that was involved in this was Fred Hampton. Go ahead and tell them a little bit about Fred Hampton.
Oh my God, I love Fred Hampton. Okay, so Fred Hampton is my revolutionary bae. Rest in peace. He was killed by the Chicago Police Department. He was a Black Panther. Basically, what the COINTELPRO did, it was the FBI they looked at any progressive Black movement, which in this case was the Black Panthers, and when we could bring it up to today, is like you could kind of like say Black Lives Matter, put them in that context. But the Black Panthers had food programs, they fed children, they had medical programs. I mean, they fed at one point, I think it was something like 6,000 kids.
Right. So their whole job is serving, infiltrating, discrediting, and disrupting anything that Black nationalists have going on.
Anything Black nationalists had going on. They looked at any progressive movement toward Blacks that Blacks had going on as a communist thing. And that's crazy. And that's what they're trying to make people look at Black Lives Matter as now.
So as of last year, I know that they was trying to bring COINTEL 2.0 up, which is why we brought that up.
Yes.
Saying that they were talking about Black identity extremists. Have you ever heard of a Black identity extremist?
So when you saw Jeff Sessions, when they asked him that when they were investigating him and asking him all these questions, and he would not come out and say Black Lives Matter was one of those agencies,
right?
But that's what they're trying to make it out to be.
Yeah,
they're trying to make it out to be that thing, like how they did what they did to the Black Panthers back then. The FBI just moved to destroy any progressive movement. The Chicago FBI and the Chicago Police Department, because there were a lot of active Black Panther Party members in Chicago at that time. Basically, they ran down in Fred Hampton's house and shot him. And you can find this stuff out anywhere on the internet. But his wife was there, his children.
No, she was pregnant at the time too, right?
Yes, and I mean,
just like y'all niggas in the street today, there was somebody in his camp that was a fucking informant. His name was William O'Neal. He ended up killing himself. After the whole situation.
And that's the thing with the Black Panthers. There were so many people that were involved with them that were government informants, There was like, I think they said for each FBI agent, there were 6 informants.
Exactly.
That's just too many snitches, bruh. You got to watch who's in your camp. Everybody is not out there trying to help, but it's just very, you know, very reminiscent of the activist movements that we have today, and how, you know, they're trying to make it seem like they're just like really, really, really radical. And when they killed Fred Hampton, when they did the ballistics, they tried to say that they were shooting back at the police and that was why they were there, when in all actuality, I think they said they found 1 shell casing shooting back at the police and all the rest of them were shooting at him.
Yeah, man.
And basically what they do is they try to discourage people from doing this, right? They kill the black leaders. Anything that Martin Luther King did, they try to discredit him. Anytime he tried to reach out to any other church, the Catholic Church or anything like that, the FBI would have people send letters to them saying, you know, do you really want this guy to...
They tried to get Martin Luther King for infidelity. I mean, we all know Martin Luther King was cheating on his wife, but, you know...
They don't want us to live, y'all. They don't want us to get together. So that's why we have to try harder and harder and harder and harder to love each other. Because you see how it is. I mean, there's just so much money in black ignorance, and we're not gonna let that happen. Right?
Absolutely.
That's why we're here.
That's about to change, and that goes into our next subject.
I need to say something else about COINTELPRO.
Go ahead.
How they got busted.
How did they get busted?
The cold part about how they got busted, there was a group of like 13 people, and they called themselves the Citizens Commission to Investigate the FBI. They're just regular people.
Right.
They were really anti-war people. The Vietnam War was going on back then, right? So they were like, you know, they don't like the Vietnam War. The government is staging it, saying that, you know, they need to go into Vietnam and do this with the Vietnam and the Viet Cong, but they wanted to bring some more awareness to what the government was doing. So what these people did in Pennsylvania was they broke into the FBI building.
Gangsters.
They stole the files and they took them and they sent them to the press. Tell me that's not gangster as hell. I mean, these people had children, they had families, they had lives. They did that. And when they found out what was in those papers, all hell broke loose. Everybody found out what was going on with the government. So I watched it. There's actually, you know, you could Google the Citizens Commission to Investigate the FBI. None of these people got arrested because guess why? They were all white. And they could just go out and live their normal lives until they felt like telling everybody. And the statute of limitations was only 5 years. So they came out after the 5-year statute of limitation and was like, hey, surprise, it was us, and there ain't shit you can do about it. Yes. So that was just real cool to me. That was real cool to me. But yeah, so getting back, I'm sorry, I just had to get that out.